If you're watching this right now, there is a good chance you feel lost. Not lost in the sense of not knowing where you are, but lost in the sense of not knowing where you're going. Maybe you wake up every morning feeling heavy. Maybe everyone else seems to have life figured out, while you are still standing at the crossroads, unsure which direction to take. And if that's you, let me tell you something important. There is nothing wrong with you. Feeling lost is not a sign of failure. It's often a sign that you've outgrown the life you're living, but you haven't yet discovered the next one. Most people don't talk about this stage. They only show the highlights, the successes, the confidence, the clarity. But almost every meaningful life story begins with confusion, doubt, and silence. The problem is not being lost. The problem is believing you've broken because of it. Let's slow down for a moment. You don't need to have everything figured out right now. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to know your purpose by next month. You only need to take the next honest step. There is a powerful story from history about Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the most respected leaders of all time, his life was filled with failures. He lost his job, he failed his business more than once, he ran for office and lost repeatedly. At one point, he suffered such deep depression that his friends feared his life. From the outside, Lincoln looked like a man going nowhere, but every setback was shaping the patience, empathy, and resilience he would later need. Lincoln didn't rise despite being lost. He rose because of it. When you're lost, you're not behind. You're being prepared. One of the hardest parts of feeling lost is comparison. You scroll through social media and see people your age getting married, buying houses, traveling the world, building careers, and quietly you ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? But here is the truth no one's tell you. Life is not a race with a single finish line. There is a quote often attributed to Theodore Roosevelt: comparison is the thief of joy. And it's true. Comparison doesn't motivate you. It erases your sense of direction. You start chasing goals that were never meant for you just because someone else seems happy chasing them. Imagine two people climbing mountains. One is climbing Everest, the other one is climbing Kilimanjaro. If the second person keeps looking sideways instead of upward, they'll forget why they started climbing at all. Different mountains, different timelines, same value. Another powerful story comes from Vincent van Gogh. Today, his art is worth millions. His name is known worldwide. But during his lifetime, he sold only one painting. One. He struggled with mental health illnesses, poverty, and isolation. By society's standard, he looked like a failure. Yet the world later realized he was ahead of his time. Van Gogh once said, if you hear a voice within you say you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silent. Being lost often means you're walking a road few people understand. Yet, let's talk about clarity for a moment. Most people believe clarity comes first and actions come second. But in real life, it's the opposite. Action creates clarity. You don't find yourself by thinking endlessly. You find yourself by moving, experimenting, failing, adjusting. You don't need the perfect job to start learning. You don't need confidence to begin. You gain confidence by beginning. You don't need certainty to take a step. You create certainty by surviving the step. Think about learning to walk. You don't wait until you were sure you wouldn't fall. You fell hundreds of times, and that's how you learned balance. Here is another quote, this time from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who carried immense responsibility and pressure. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. In modern life, you can't control how fast things happen. You can't control other people's expectations, but you can control how you respond to uncertainty. Being lost often feels like standing in the fog. You can't see the entire road, but you can see a few steps ahead, and that's enough. The fog doesn't mean the road disappears. It just means you have to trust your movement. If you feel stuck, ask yourself smaller questions instead of overwhelming ones. Not what I should do with my entire life, but what is one thing I can do this week that moves me forward, even slightly. Momentum doesn't come from big answers. It comes from small commitments kept constantly. And here is something very important. Your worth is not tied to your productivity or success. You are valuable even when you're confused. You're valuable even when you're resting. You're valuable even when you don't know what comes next. Many people who later inspire millions once sit alone, wondering if their life mattered. The difference is not that they never felt lost. The difference is they didn't let being lost convince them to stop. If you're lost right now, let this be your reminder. You're not late. You're not broken. You're not failing at life. You are in transition. And transitions are uncomfortable because they require you to leave something familiar before the new thing becomes visible. But growth has always worked this way. Seeds grow in darkness before they break the surface. One day you'll look back at this version of yourself with gratitude, not because it was easy, but because you kept going when it wasn't. So take a deep breath, be patient with yourself, take the next small step, and remember, being lost is not the end of your story. It is often the beginning of a more honest one. Thank you for watching.